What do you do when someone dies? I'm going to share with you today something I think is tremendous to do when someone dies. Close to one of the best things that we can do, we here that remain. And it's something that it's personal. I'm actually, today is a special day. A special day for me because my dad, he made his transition day. Patrick Stewart, this is him. So, but if there's an anniversary that comes up of someone's transitioning, or even if someone has just recently died in your life, there's something that I've recommended to different people, and I'm going to even recommend it today. Something that you can do, and it really helps you during this time. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my dad. So today I'm going to actually do some more videos just in honor of him and celebration of even his life. But he was, I'll say he was my hero. He was my hero, even as I'm looking at him now. Definitely miss him. I come on here and I say I help people to live after a death. And it doesn't mean that you're not touched by death. It doesn't mean that you don't go through sorrow. But yet you're still supposed to live. And that's why I help to encourage people to live after they've gone through a death of a loved one. So even though I've dealt with death on so many different levels personally, then also helping thousands and thousands of families to deal with the death as well too. When it hits home, it hits home. And it does. It doesn't matter who it is. It affects you in some way, some profound way. So, like I said, today's a special day. So I want to share something about him. I'm gonna even share even the story of his transition, because it was really interesting. I was talking to someone yesterday, just out of the blue. We just was talking. It was actually a friend of mine's, and he was sharing about his father had transitioned a couple of years ago. My dad actually, this back in 2017, so it's now 7 years. So we were just talking, but we was speaking about even when a person passes, and even the lessons and the takeaways that you can get from their lives. And that's something I'm going to say is really, really beneficial to do. And that's to remember the person. And I don't just mean to, just think about them once in a while. I'm talking about really to remember them. Take some time to reflect on their life. However long they lived. It could have been a long time, a short time, or what have you. Just to reflect. This was a life that God has given to us that we were blessed to have known. So reflect on the life and what they meant to you. What did you learn from the experience? There's actually some questions that I put together. It's a little like a booklet. I'm gonna probably make it available on here. Just maybe watch for something coming up. But reflect on their life and see what you can learn from them. So let me tell you real quickly, even the transition of my dad, which was really special, because first the last it was about 4 months of his life, he actually got to live in the house with my family, myself, my wife, and my children. And that was really a special time. I know usually in this society, we tend to, we deal with nursing homes. My mom used to work in nursing homes, so I even understand how that is, and I understand sometimes it's necessary. But as much as possible, if you can, to have your loved ones around with you, because it makes a difference, not just for them, it makes a difference for everyone that's involved. So him for the last 4 months, I'm not going to go too deep into it. He lived at our house with us, and he was really able to impart some great wisdom to us, even as we were there taking care of him in a sense. He was taking care of us, like emotionally, spiritually. He was taking care of us, feeding us with different things, and I really treasure those times that we had. And his actual passing was actually at our house. So today I guess I'm like a little bit of story time too, but his passing was at our house, and I actually had been away just for, it's like a day or two before I had went out of town, actually to a church conference with my pastor at the time. But I was away, and my wife was with him and my children with him actually as he was transitioning. So it was really a special time for everyone involved. They was with him as he, as they say, gave up the ghost. And it wasn't just that they were there with him, because my wife, and this is probably about like 5 o'clock in the morning, she called me, even being out of town, out of state, and she called me and said, he was like asking for me, and he was acting a little strange. So while I was on the phone with him, I actually started praying, and he transitioned during the course of prayer, and it was a little bit longer prayers. Maybe he was praying for maybe about 15, 20 minutes or so, but I was praying, and I didn't understand at the time, like, what I was praying for and like how I was praying, because it was a special prayer too. I was praying for like angels, and I've spoken here before about angels as well too, but about angels to be encamped around the house and even on the block, and to even just be with him. And in a way, I was kind of ushering him back home, and it was really special. So as I think of it now, it's just I'm so thankful for the way that he was able to transition out of here, that he was able to leave this earth and go into his next life. So that was one thing. I'm gonna share a story, because I said that one thing I would really recommend for people to do is to reflect. And I know it can be hard. I know it can be painful to do it, but it is so beneficial. Again, that's why I'm putting this book together that I have to really help people during this time. But one thing I remember, and I'm gonna share with you even today, and I spoke at his homegoing service, and this is what I said, because it was a funny story, but I learned something even during that time, because he was very organized. He was a CPA, certified public accountant, so he was very, very organized with his stuff. That's something I actually need to learn better from him, and actually follow some more stuff that I learned him doing. So as he had got his paperwork together, actually in this I'm probably going to tell you a couple of things that you can learn from this time. He gotten all his paperwork together, like he had a will, he had a trust, he had all this stuff, like important financial documents and documents for like property and things like that. He put it all together. So that's another thing that we can definitely learn from it, as far as getting your affairs in order. Have a will. So many people pass without a will. If you can do a trust, get a trust. Find out about these things, see how they can benefit you, see how you can use it to make it easier on those who are left behind, and also make it easier for yourself. But anyway, he had all his paperwork together, and he had a long dresser drawer in his bedroom. And I remember in the drawer, on top of the drawer, he had told me like where to find what I need to find, like whatever paperwork I need to find. So, he said like such and such is in the bottom right drawer. And I did find the stuff that was there, and I was able to retrieve it, and I was able to use it. So I'm thankful for what he did. But it wasn't until a couple of days later that we were going through the other drawers that was in the bedroom, or I was going through it to kind of clear out some stuff and so forth. And I saw that he had put notes in every other drawer. And he said, in the other drawer, he said, "No, Samuel, not this drawer, the bottom right drawer." So he had put notes in every single drawer to direct me to the drawer that I needed to find the papers that I needed to find. So, like I said, he was super, super organized, and something I could definitely learn and do better for myself as well too. And even thinking about it, talking about it, gives me laughter, but then also teaches me I got to do some stuff even better. He taught me some stuff to do, and I can do it better. So that's the thing I want to even share with you again. Just reflecting on the person, what they did, how they lived, some fond memories that you may have of them. All these things are so vital, because I've heard this not too long ago. Every person that dies, they die 2 times. One is when they physically are no longer with us. But the second time is when we stop telling stories about them, when their stories are no longer being told. So this is a way we can have them really with us forever by telling us the stories about their lives, about what they did, how they made us feel, precious memories and moments that we had with them. And sure, I'll say this, even in reality, when someone passes, there may be an element, there's probably always an element of some kind of regret. However, when you can have more fond memories than regret, then you don't get into that devastated state. Yeah, there's some regret, certain things that I wish I paid more attention to that he was telling me, things like that. But then I have so many more fond memories I could think of, and when I can even focus on that, that helps me to get past even any regret that may come up from him not being here with me any longer. So please take this as a lesson for yourself, because we all, at some point in life, we are faced with a death of a loved one, or someone that's close to us, and just really take time to reflect on their life. This is like one of the top things I would say for someone to do. And I don't like to just say things just because, my experience. I mean, this is stuff that we see in the Bible as well, too. We can see it from back in the Old Testament. We say how they always reflected back on Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So they was reflecting back on what their forefathers did and the relationship that they had with God. And that helped to motivate them, to inspire them, even in their connection with the Most High as well. And then even think about with Christ, even though he died, which is a reality, it's a celebration. I don't think anyone here now cries because Jesus died. We're actually more celebrating. We call it Good Friday, the day that we celebrate his crucifixion. We call it Good Friday. So it's not a somber thing, but we actually remember that wasn't the end of the story. He resurrected afterwards, and because of him now we can live. So we're not sorrowful because he died, but it more leads us towards life. And that actually is the same with the believer as well too. When a believer dies in the Lord, then that's not the end. And if we believe what Christ did, then we have to transition it, or we should very much transition it to when a believer dies in the Lord as well too, that it's not their end. They're in a better place. It says to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. So yes, we can have some sorrow. We can grieve. Even I said, Jesus grieved as well too, because they're not with us in the present anymore. However, there's such great hope because of what Christ did that we're going to see them again. And then it encourages us even to live our lives so much better as well too, knowing that we can see them again in eternity with our Father. So this is what I want to share. Like I said, this is a special day, so I kind of wanted to definitely focus on him, my dad, okay, and also give you a lesson I learned from him, and also, I'm excited to see him again, him and my mom. You see my mom up here too. There we go, my mom. Okay, all right. So thank you for watching. Remember, you get better at what you keep doing. So practice doing good things.